Do not enter. I swear to God, I will shove this wheelchair right up your ass.
Hey, Cyan.
You look like hammered shit. You stay right there. Mason, they shot you. Turns out you're a lousy shot. My ass. Where the fuck you been for 30 years?
I know what a lot of you are thinking. Cyan, why the hell are you playing this game? Why are you wasting your time on some generic first-person shooter? And from Activision of all people?
Now that's comedy.
Yep, not only am I a weeb, not only am I a Nintendo, but I also play generic first-person shooters. I've accepted I'm a degenerate, but I wouldn't be covering a game like this if it didn't mean something to me. And growing up with this game has done so much for me, and I want to shed light on it, as well as just talk about how, well, damn good of a game it is. A first-person shooter being good? That's impossible. How is this possible, Cyan? Please tell me! Well, glad you asked, random person I animated in voice. Let's take a trip back into the past, and maybe travel to the future as well, to see what made this game a shot above the rest. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 released on November 12th of 2012 and was developed by Treyarch, the company responsible for the majority of the COD games, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and Spider-Man 2!
I'm going to die!
And was published by Activision, the company known for... Back to Call of Duty Black Ops 2, however, as the name implies, it is a sequel to Black Ops 1. While I haven't played the game personally, I feel like I should consider making a video on its sequel. So maybe in the future I could? The game is a first-person shooter, and at the time, the game was advertising its single player to have multiple branches and replayability, which COD games before didn't have. The game's story would be taking place in the year 2025, but would also be taking place in the late 1980s? Yeah, apparently the story would also have missions from both eras that help progress the narrative, which was an interesting concept for sure. The game would also have amazing advertising as well, featuring people the likes of Robert Downey Jr. The Robert Downey Jr.? So overall, the game was being set up for success, but would it live up to the hype? Let's find out. As mentioned before, the game is a sequel to Black Ops 1. And with that, we get returning faces such as Alex Mason, Jason Hudson, and Frank Woods, just to name a few. Some of the new characters include David Mason, the protagonist and the character you'll mostly be playing as in the 2025 levels, and the son of Alex Mason. Then we got Mike Harper, who I personally like a lot. I mean, how could I not? This dude is voiced by the same guy who voices Gantu and mimics his personality in almost every way.
Still got my balls. How about you? Let's go.
We also have people like Salazar, Fareed, and Admiral Briggs. And God, I love this guy specifically. Not only did he spark the famous "No!", but he also just swears a lot to the point where I couldn't help but laugh every time he said "Cocksucker." And finally, our antagonist, Raul Menendez, the leader of Cordis, which aims to cause the Second Cold War. All because his sister was killed? I mean, I never had a sibling murdered, so I wouldn't know the feeling, but I got to wonder, is this really a justifiable reason for this? Disregarding his motivation, in both the 1986 levels and the 2025 levels, you will consistently be encountering him, and even playing as him at one point. And each time you do, it is always accompanied by his main theme. And just, good God, I'll get to it later in the video, but this guy always sent chills down my spine. He's not the kind of dude you want to mess around with, and every time he's on screen, he always leaves a lasting impression on the player that you can't help but feel intimidated and scared of. Especially this one cutscene in particular, which I need to play to prove my point here.
So no matter what happens out there when the bullets start flying, you cannot blow your cover. Just stay cool, we'll get you through this. We're almost ready.
We are ready.
Yes.
There's a traitor in our midst.
But how? Who?
It matters not. I'm one step ahead of you.
Yeah, if that didn't make you feel like pissing yourself just the tiniest bit, then you gotta have some balls or something. Anyway, now that we got characters out of the way, let's discuss the plot. So the game opens up with...
No! I need help over here!
Oh. After that really graphic scene, we meet with one of the many characters that actually exist in real world in the form of Jonas Savimbi, who reminds us we are in the middle of fucking war against the MPLA. We are then greeted by a war cry that motivate any soldier on the battlefield.
Here they come! Here they come, my brothers! Fight, my brothers!
Fast as fuck! And after killing some guys and nuking them from above, we finish them off and kill every last one of them. Afterwards, Hudson comes down from the chopper and we learn that despite our victory, the MPLA has not been defeated and that Frank Woods is being held captive by a Nicaraguan gun runner. And we just can't leave Woods behind. Oh no, no, no. So we head to the Cubongo River. So we head to the Cubongo River where we are greeted with heavy fire. Come on, man, is that a way to welcome your guests? We then clear the entire boat and open up the crate in the middle of the ship. Upon further inspection, we find Frank Woods. Goodness gracious, he looks absolutely destroyed. Just looking at him, I feel like your brain can really fill in the blanks for what this guy's been through, what this guy's suffered through. And that will be a recurring theme throughout the game. We are then forced to go through a stealth section in an MPLA base and get up close and personal with them in an effort to radio for an emergency evac. We didn't leave the babysitting to Hudson as we go sneak off to a radio tower, which ended up being our first encounter with our antagonist of the game.
You're a dead man unless you do exactly as I say. Tune the radio to... We are going to kill you, see? FBI, open up! I got a present for you! You son of a bitch!
After that exchange, we are forced to run, and they get cornered again. God damn it, Kyogre. Oh damn! Oh my god, he came for us! Oh my god! Oh Savimbi, oh how I missed ya. So that was the first mission in the game in a nutshell. And it was a pretty good opening to say the least. It sets the tone and the themes for the game very well as who the main antagonist is. The game will swap between these two time periods, and within these two time periods you'll definitely be seeing the characters suffer, whether it be because of Menendez, guilt, or whatever. The overarching theme of this story, I feel, it's expressed greatly in its main theme. While I don't know how music works or composers and all that, I gotta say this OST is amazing. The main theme as well, it does a great job at representing the theme of suffering, as well as being a very good goddamn track that you can listen to for the quiet moments, as well as the banger moments, and just feels so many emotions. The multiplayer theme, good god. If I could describe it with any word, iconic. If this doesn't bring back memories of coming home from school and playing with the boys online, what were you doing with yourself, man? For real though, it's seriously epic and it screams absolute chaos while being involved with the war and being a badass. And then there's tracks like Desert Ride. Literally could not imagine any other track during a desert war zone whilst on horseback. And that's just a few of the OST I wanted to mention. There's way more, and a lot of copyright songs I wanted to mention, but well, you know, copyright. But just take my word for it. This OST is amazing, and it really accompanies the entire story through and through. But I think that's enough talking about the single player mode. We got two other modes to talk about here. So Call of Duty Black Ops 2, multiplayer and zombies. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have much to say here. I tried hopping online for footage for this video and, well, let's just say a game published in 2012 definitely won't have active lobbies. But let's ignore that and get into the multiplayer. Multiplayer was a blast. There's a variety of modes like Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, Demolition, you name it. You can also make your own weapon classes, create kill streaks, and just so much customization and freedom. While I didn't understand it much when I was younger, I can now appreciate it as I am a bit older, and I feel like I can finally understand and appreciate these cool game modes and whatnot. Honestly, the only thing I'd want is for these lobbies to be active again so I can play this game whenever. But hey, you know, you could possibly get the game on Steam right now and maybe join my Discord server in the link in the description. In all seriousness though, this was a solid multiplayer, and if games like Splatoon didn't exist, I would have definitely crowned this game as one of the best multiplayer experiences in my personal opinion. I just have so many fond memories, and there's so much variety and so much customization. and it's just a good multiplayer for a first-person shooter. But as for the zombies mode, yeah, even as a kid, I don't have the greatest memories of it. Heck, I was mainly scared of it, because, you know, being a kid. Looking at it now, though, yeah, was never a huge fan of it, personally. I mean, I will play it from time to time, and I like playing the survival mode. But yeah, never the biggest fan of zombies. I actually looked it up before making this video, and the general consensus is that Call of Duty Black Ops 2 has one of the worst zombie modes in the series. So maybe that's why I didn't like it? It also didn't help the main mode's map was so huge and you're supposed to traverse it. And to this day, I still don't know what the main objective is in the map. Yeah, if I just say one negative thing about this game, it's definitely the zombies. The single player multiplayer, game of the year, 10 out of 10, we'll give an Oscar. The zombies, I at least know what I'm doing in Sword and Shield. How are you worse than Sword and Shield? Well, that's about all I have to say about the game in terms of what it is and what makes it great. But now I want to get into the more personal segment, what this game did for me back in 2012, and how it changed me. So back in 2012, I was a diehard Pokemon fan. Yeah, I loved the Pokemon Black and White anime. Yes, I know it's shit, but I was a kid and I liked it. And yeah, that was my obsession. And the only thing I wanted was Pokemon Black 2, which became one of my favorite games of all time, as well as my first ever Pokemon game. But we're getting a bit off topic. I didn't have many friends at the time, and I was actually being made fun of for liking Pokemon. But I didn't care, man. Young me was a diehard Pokemon fan. But then one night, my dad comes to my room, and instead of offering me the game I wanted the most, I was instead given Call of Duty Black Ops 2. At the time I was conflicted. It wasn't the game I wanted, far from it, but it was given to me to help interact with the kids at my school better. And while I don't really remember any memories of that happening, I do remember playing it and just being so amazed at how realistic everything was and just how different things were compared to like Mario and Pokemon and all that. I did a bunch of things like speedrunning levels, trying out different options to get different endings, sequence breaking, staring at boobs. I have a lot of stories from it, like how I tried to do the cool guys don't look at explosions meme in the desert level whenever I blew up the place. Or how in the ship level, I would watch the other ship sink from all the way over there, even though it would take like 20 minutes for it to actually sink.
Derp. Derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp derp derp.
There was also the time where I hated where the game told me to, and this drone killed me for it. Yeah, this game was the thing that got me out of my bubble to play all kinds of games outside Nintendo. Without this game, I wouldn't have ever touched the huge story-driven games like Persona. I wouldn't have touched first-person shooters like Left 4 Dead 2. And I wouldn't have touched gacha games like Genshin. Yeah, forget that last one. Overall, what I'm trying to say is, I love Call of Duty Black Ops 2. While it is almost a decade old now, I think it still stands up today as one of the greatest of the first-person shooter genre. And without this game, I would have stayed in my bubble and never tried out the variety of games I'm into today. I just have so much to thank this game for, and hopefully I expressed it well by making this video. And maybe convince you all to try it out? I'm a lonely man, I just want to play some multiplayer with the boys, damn it. But anyway, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!